Guardian TV. Commander fans, what a win, what a win, what a win. Washington Commanders defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 41-24 in all you can say was a team game all the way around as far as the Commanders. They showed some dominance on defense. They really stuffed the run. Raiders first round draft pick, Genty. He just didn't have much room. He got like a nice little 16-yard run one time. But other than that, he was bottled up. I mean, they was constantly in the backfield. So he didn't have much of a chance. He couldn't get outside much. He had one run for 16 yards, as I said, I believe. And, hey, he was doing him. You could see the power. I believe Quan Martin came up to square up to tackle him. Kind of blew Quan Martin up a little bit. But you see he has agility and talent. The offensive line we just dominated the line of scrimmage. We really did. We primarily rushed with 4 down linemen, rotation. Didn't really blitz much. I was still kind of perturbed earlier in the game due to coverage. Either we were blowing coverage or we just wasn't good at the zone that we were playing. It seemed like there was some miscommunication several times in the game. And as you can see later in the game, they scored that Geno Smith was able to connect on that 61-yard throw and touchdown grab by the wide receiver for Oakland late in that game. That made it a little interesting because you're like, wow, the game is really not over. But I think it was like 4 minutes or so to go and just needed a first round to kind of close this thing out late in the fourth quarter. So we was able to accomplish that, and we was able to score with Luke McCaffrey getting his first NFL touchdown on a beautiful design play. Marcus being able to connect on that design. I don't know, the rollout or step in, but it was beautiful. Nice ball thrown by Marcus and a grab. And Luke McCaffrey kind of, galloped in the end zone a little bit for his first touchdown in his career. So it was good to see that, to witness that as a fan, because we've been rooting for this guy so much. And you can see him out there competing. He competed the whole game. I believe Terry was sitting down most of the fourth quarter or so. I don't know what was the issue. Might have had a quad issue, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't want to speculate. But he wasn't in. And Luke was kind of doing the heavy lifting a little bit along with others. And so he was able to show out. I was glad. I was happy for him to do that. Because there's been let's face it, there's been some type of debate, if he's productive enough, what are we getting out of him? But they did invest a third round draft pick in him, so we have to wait, let him develop. Let a player develop. And this was a good game for him, as well as the fan base, as well as all the Redskins, Commander Nation, the Burgundy and Gold Nation, Washington Football Team Nation. So it was good to be. I was still stressed, especially when they threw that Geno Smith connected on that 61-yard touchdown. I was still stressed because I was like, oh, here we go, playing prevent. I was still kind of cussing. Had some choice words for, the defensive coordinator Witt. But for the most part, I thought if we can just button down and get a first down, this game was going to be over, and we was able to do that and more. We was able to score and put a 40-burger up there, so as deserved. We should have I can always go woulda, coulda, shoulda. But we got the job done. We move on we play Atlanta Falcons on the road next week. That should be interesting because, shockingly, Atlanta lost to Carolina. And so they're going to be they're going to have something to prove back on the side of things. So we'll see. But we got some injuries. Will Harris was injured. He broke his, I think his fibula, his leg basically, and we don't know what the diagnosis as far as rehab, recovery, and all that. So that's not. I mean, we got the injury. We've been riddled with injuries so far in these three games. So, but we was able to come away with a victory, a nice victory. Feel good about ourselves again. The intensity of the defense was all through the game. They got kind of spurned on a couple of plays here and there. Still, from my taste, there were still some people wide open. They did a good job on Bowers, Raiders tight end, Brock Bowers, and like I said, they bottled up Genty. But they did have that one wide receiver. I think number one or what? Yeah, he got three touchdowns, three tutties. So, there's something to address because especially going into Atlanta, Drake London and the crew, Michael Penix and the crew. So, and then B. John. So it's going to be challenging. And like I said, they're going to be ready to rock going down in hot Atlanta. And so we'll get to that, though. But let's celebrate this win. I felt good. I feel good about Marcus Mariota. You can tell he's comfortable in his offense. He's very comfortable in his offense, and he was comfortable running. He was very aggressive in his running today. The one run he had that he kind of sliced and diced, cut him up, and then he jumped over and the guy hit the ball out. That was a beautiful, beautiful athletic play. That's the Marcus Mariota that was in Oregon right there. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the ball popped out. He got the ball popped out. But the kicker missed the kick today, which was makeable. He did come back and, of course, was able to make a couple free throws. Free throws. I'm all over the place. Field goals and somewhat redeemed himself. But we'll see. I'm not all the way comfortable, but, he's been 85%. So you think you can get the rough patch out early in the season and then be spot on late in the season when we really need these kicks, and everything's going to be important anyway as the season progresses. So, like I said, it was a good win. The fans, the stadium seems to was lit. It was rocking from, my point of view from when I came across on my television. And it's good to see that FedEx, even though we got approved for going back to the district, it's good to see them really showing out, and the team bouncing back and showing that energy and giving us something to show out. Because I was very proud of the team today. Dan Quinn, he Marcus Mariota, was making a play, trying to make a play, got hit out of bounds, and Dan Quinn was a casualty of that ending of that play. I was more concerned because he kind of hit his head, but he did get a bloody nose and like a commander. He stood up there. He was good. You know what I mean? I saw the refs kind of asking him, "You all right?" Whatever, precautions, but he was he gave the thumbs up, and he continued on and lead. So. That fired me up, that fired the fans up, and that fired the fan base up. And so I'm sure it fired the players up. And I think Marcus kind of talked about it briefly. I don't know the exact quote, but I think they asked him about it, the media after the game. But once again, Commanders defeat the Las Vegas Raiders in a pretty interesting game, exciting game for the fans. They pretty much handled this game all through. Once they got their footing, they was able to, stretch out on the Raiders, but it was interesting. So 41-24 was the final score. We're on to Atlanta next week. Van Guardian TV. Peace.